Welcome to lesson 10 of the maths course on percentages. Percent, per means each or out of, and cent means 100, such as century being 100 years, or a cent being 100th of a dollar, or there being 100 centimetres in a metre. Cent always means 100. So per cent means out of 100 or each 100. Therefore 1% means 1 out of 100, 100th of something. And 100% is 1, because I've got 100 out of 100, I've got all of them, that is 1. So 100% equals 1. 10% is 1/10, or 10 out of 100 square shaded. It is useful to know that 10% is 1/10. 51% is 51 out of 100 square shaded. Percentages can be greater than 100%, because 100% equals 1, and I can have more than 1. So 2 whole will be 200%, 5 whole will be 500%. So if I've got 2 whole and 13 square shaded out of 100 squares, I'll have 2 and 13 hundredths. 2 whole and 13 out of 100. That's my mixed number. We've done mixed numbers before. So then percent, well the 2 is 200%, and then 13 over 100 will be 13%. So I'd have 213%. Percentage to fraction. Percent means out of 100. So to change a percentage to a fraction, we can simply write that number over 100 and simplify. Let's have a look at an example. Write 30% as a fraction. Well, I write the number. Percent means out of 100, so it's over 100, and then I simplify. I can divide top and bottom by 10, and that gives me 3/10. It is useful to know the following percentages. These percentages you should come to just know without working out. So 1/10 is 10%, a quarter is 25%, a half is 50%, 50 over 100 equals a half, and 3/4 is 75%. If we know that 1/10 is 1 over 10, then we can use this to work out multiples of 10. For example, write 70% as a fraction. 70% equals 7 lots of 10%. 10% is 1/10, so 70% will be 7/10, or 7 lots of that. Fraction to percentage. To convert fractions into percentages, we can do this in a couple of ways. The first one we're going to look at is to multiply by 100 and then cancel. For example, write 3/10 as a percentage. Well, we write the fraction, multiply by 100. So 3/10 times 100. Cancel, and we'll multiply across. So we can cancel top and bottom by 10, and then we get 3 times 10 equals 30%. There's 2 other ways of doing this question. One is, in this case, we can use the fact that we know, or we should know, that 1/10 is 10%. So if I know that 1/10 equals 10%, I know that 3/10 equals 30%. However, there's another way as well. The other way I can do this is by going 3/10 equals what over 100. If I can work out an equivalent fraction over 100, I can do that. So 10 to 100 is times 10. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do exactly the same to a top. 3 times 10 equals 30. That gives me 30 over 100. And I know percent means out of 100, so that must equal 30%. So especially with things like fractions over 25, fractions over 5, fractions over 20, working it out by simply multiplying to a fraction over 100 can often be a very easy way of doing it. Decimals and percent. So we can go both ways with regards to this. Decimal to percent and percent to decimal. Well, going from any number to percent, I multiply by 100. We talked about at the beginning, 1 was 100%, 2 was 200%. I'm multiplying by 100. To go from fraction to percent, I multiply by 100. Decimal to percent, I go by 100. They're just all numbers. So to go from any number to percent, I times by 100. If I'm going percent to decimal, I'm going to be doing the opposite, because I'm going in the opposite direction. So to go from percent to decimal, I'm going to divide by 100. Let's have a look at an example. Change 0.13 into a percentage. Well, I'm going to simply times by 100. Now you remember that to times by 100, I simply move the decimal place 2 places. 1, 2, and my decimal point will go there, giving me 13. My answer is 13%. Let's have a look at an example of going the other way. Change 13% into a decimal. Well, to do that, I divide by 100. 13 divided by 100. Now you remember that to divide by 100, we move the decimal place 2 places. My decimal place will be here after the units, 1, 2, and my decimal point will go there, giving me the answer 0.13. This is exactly the same as fractions. To convert a percentage to a number, decimal or fraction, divide by 100. To convert a number, decimal or fraction, to a percentage, multiply by 100. Percentage of an amount. Really common type of question. Very, very common. You really need to know how to do this. To calculate the percentage of an amount, work out the fraction and then multiply by 100. Let's look at an example. 10 out of 25 biscuits have been eaten. What percentage have been eaten? Well, first we work out the fraction, which is 10 out of a total of 25. Well, to go from fraction to percentage, we times by 100. So without simplifying first, we simply times by 100. We then cancel and multiply across. In this case, I will divide top and bottom by 25. 25 goes in 25 once, and 25 goes in 100 4 times. I can then multiply across. 10 times 4 is 40. So my answer is 40%. Thank you. Bye for now.